It's it's kind of helped me with everything, and like I said, like you said earlier, you want to tap into the best version of yourself. It helps me channel that. I think the best version of yourself is almost like a TV channel. You just gotta tune in on it,
The right frequency.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like you gotta tune in on it.
Hello, this is James Cox. Welcome to the Martial Arts Lifestyle. We are in episode number 72 today, and I have a special guest with me, Mr. Taylor Gans. Taylor is an instructor at the Premier Martial Arts Abilene location, as well as he's a Judo black belt, done some MMA, a longtime martial artist, just kind of excelling and learning and teaching a lot of other people the secrets of the martial arts. But Taylor, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate having you on today. You doing okay?
Absolutely, sir. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So let's see if we can get some words of wisdom and some, benefits and value in this today. So I'm excited. What do you think are overall? Let's talk martial arts and get started. What are some of the best things of the martial arts? I guess.
Let's see. I'll start with a quote from Master Salo Ribera. He is a judo, jiu-jitsu black belt, or 6th dan or something like that. But he said, martial arts is a vehicle for your human potential. And I think that's a good start right there. Throughout life, I think everybody has the desire for the path of positive, constructive evolution. I think everything has an evolution in it. I think martial arts is one of the chaperones, if you will, that kind of helps you go to those places. It challenges you in every kind of way possible. It's an art form that has basically, I guess, taken the challenges of life and turned it into this very fun and constructive, useful activity. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people don't find that positive path that they desire, is because they don't use the right chaperones.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's they're misguided, if you will. And I just think martial arts is kind of one of the main chaperones to kind of take you to that train. Give you that train ticket.
No, you're right, man. I mean, imagine so many people, and there's many great opportunities and things in life, but that may live a life without a lot of worth, right? I hate to say
miss
that.
Something,
miss a lot, man. I like how you said that. What was that first part? Martial arts is a vehicle
for your human potential.
Human potential. That's
quote,
right. I like that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a quote by Salo Ribera, who was, like I said, a judo, jiu-jitsu black belt. And when he said that, I was like, man.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's like we try to focus on. It's always about being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
But there's a way to get there, right?
Yeah.
So what's the tools? You got to have the tools and guidance and, constructive, but you got to be active and, man, make it happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in all the years you've been doing this, how has martial arts helped you the most? Personally, and what have you seen?
It's it's kind of helped me with everything. And like I said, like you said earlier, you want to tap into the best version of yourself. It helps me channel that. I think the best version of yourself is almost like a TV channel. You just gotta tune in on it. The
right frequency.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You gotta tune in on it. And it might take you some churches. You gotta press a button a few times to get to that channel. It's helped me through my evolution. It's helped me grow through all my challenges, like mentally, physically, spiritually. It kind of transcends across all borders.
Right. And we might be a little biased, but definitely, man,
a little bit.
There's a lot of power to the martial arts and what it does. That saying that we have. To train to labor and strive for the purity of the mind, body, and spirit.
Strive,
man, what a complete package if we can hit on all those points and try to balance them out there. And then we're fortunate that we're able to teach, to give back, to pay it forward, to pass on, the gift of the martial arts through instructions. And you're teaching ages 3 up to probably 63, white belt to black belt, and people that come for so many different reasons: self-defense, fitness, life skills, social belonging, hobby, maybe a career themselves. But So as you've been teaching martial arts, the power of what you're doing, the benefits and the value that you provide them, what are you getting out of that,
Well, one thing about, I think it was, I heard Mike Tyson say something about customato. He's like, it's one thing to be a good fighter, but it's a whole nother thing to be a good teacher. And then I think being a good teacher, it challenge yourself personally, in the sense it's like, how good do you really know this? You know what I mean? Like, I heard another person say, like, you don't know something really well unless you can explain it to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, right.
And I think they were talking about like quantum physics or something, something really crazy. There's all sorts of tonalities that need to be approached, and it's all about your awareness and your contribution to that, and seeking out that connection. People see certain perspectives of the martial arts, like you said. Like, some people see it as self-defense, some people get in it for fitness, some people get in it for the choreography aspect or the sport aspect. And it's important for you, I guess, as a teacher, the most challenging part is to understand the language and the linguistics of that. How do I translate this for them?
Yeah, to connect to different people too.
Right? How am I translating this across, all the different different concepts or different textures, if you will, and every student is a different texture, It's challenging, but it's a lot of fun to fill in that.
Yeah. What are some of the bigger challenges, I guess, with teaching, or even the successes and challenges? We could kind of talk both, I guess. If it's, I wouldn't say any of it's negative, but there's pros and cons. I mean, I love teaching and I've been doing it for a long time. It helps us, again, to pay it forward, to pass on some priceless knowledge, man, for people to have the peace of mind that they're able to protect themselves, to see them getting better shape and build the confidence, from the inside out, along that journey from, if it's white belt to black belt, or if it's 3 months or 30 years that they spend in a dojo, to be able to see the new people that they become, like you had kind of started off with. There's selfish benefits as well, man. I mean, I'm glad I've taught, how many times I've taught a jab or a front kick, and in the days when we did a lot of memorized self-defense drills or kata, I can't forget that stuff if you paid me to.
Kumite.
Yeah. we did the stuff over and over and over, and if you're teaching a lesson plan to 6 classes in one day,
right?
Because we run full-time martial arts academies where you're teaching 6 classes a day, right? And if you're teaching similar lesson plans, there's some good selfish benefits, and you're gaining improvement of the technique. Physically, heck, if you did a set of push-ups in every class, there's 60 push-ups, right? And mentally, and then just instilling, how to do the technique. But I like what you said is so important. I've been stunned before and had to figure it out. When people ask you questions, you have to explain it to them. Those powers of why. Well, why do you throw the round kick this way? And then you tell them, and then how to rotate. Well, why? Or this, and then there's a why, and you got to really kind of dissect the technique and understand the principles and mechanics of why it works, right? Like I said, explain it to a kid and an adult, a beginner and an advanced belt. I mean, that's a little bit all off track there, and just kind of saying, as you're teaching, what are some of the pros and cons and the things you've seen?
I think it's just that right there. It's just kind of figuring out the translation, because it can be, and also when you're teaching one thing, it goes back to like, how well do you know that? Can you do this one thing many different ways? Like you said, a round kick, but you watch a lot of glory kickboxers, nobody throws the same round kick. Like, people got longer legs, they got shorter legs, people were more flexible, people were more powerful or quicker or whatever.
That's true, yeah. Different backgrounds, or if they've created and innovated different ways of throwing that kick.
Exactly.
With the top of the foot, the ball of foot, or the shin.
Exactly.
Or you're going 180 or 360, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's
and different athletes have different body mechanics.
Yeah, attributes, and it's about, well, you got to understand that as one thing, and then also you got to understand the subject of your student and then you just kind of draw the bridge right there for them. And that's where I think your job as a good martial arts teacher is supposed to. You're supposed to be the wizard bridge of the worlds, so to speak.
Yeah, you're connecting with them, right?
Yeah.
Connecting with them, making them understand. So then they're able to really understand and apply what they know.
In their own way.
Yeah, and apply what they know under pressure, stress, like a real life situation or a competition. But yeah, man, teaching's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
what we're able to do. Man. There's a lot of jobs we could be doing, and it's a blessing. Martial arts, you've been doing this for a while, and you're a good study of the arts as well. You get involved, intellectual and just. Man, you like the movies, you like the fights, you like the, UFC, all of these things. But it's come a long ways, and from what you know from the more modern back in the day, the evolution of martial arts, we could even just talk the last 3 decades.
Right,
but for thousands of years, this thing has been around, right?
Right.
So where the martial arts was as a traditional sense, and where it is now, in this much more modern approach. What's the pros and cons of that? What has happened with this evolution of the martial arts?
Man, it's just like you said. Like this goes back to like Rome and Greece. Like I think boxing and wrestling are like literally go back to Greece. And then kung fu was like what 500 AD or something. So there's a rabbit hole of history and just the way it's come from. And I'm a little too young for some of the, kind of during the times where kind of you were growing up and like Hong Kong stuff was kind of taking over and there's more commercial stuff. And then a lot of that started kind of breaking away once the UFC and like Pride and all the competition.
It changed it so much.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. And and even since like you said, since the UFC's come around, it's been around for like 30 years now. Like,
crazy.
Yeah, and it's the fighters back then used to be so brawlerish. Now they're everybody's so good. Everybody's so technical.
They had to get better.
I don't think people understand like how good people are nowadays. Like and it's back to the evolution. I think martial arts itself is almost kind of its own living organism where it's evolving on its own and it's trying to find ways to not be bordered or contained, and there's just, the greatest thing I think about it is now is it's kind of come to this middle ground where it's like you have that old kind of classic kind of military traditional dojo style, but then there's like this new sports aspect that has been involved, and you see a lot of with your school, like you see a lot of people bringing this almost hybridization of the two philosophies, and it makes me think was it always like that, or is it just kind of evolved over time from being one extreme to one extreme? And I think it's in a special place right now. Martial arts is because there's something for everybody.
Yeah. Everything changes, man. You can change with the times or be left behind.
Right.
But yeah, that hybrid approach is definitely an important thing. I feel it's what we've always focused on, but even more so now. Still keeping some traditional aspects and that militant approach, if you will, for the respect, for the discipline. You see that with a lot of the fighters. Who are your best favorite, I guess, overall fighters? You can go UFC or you can just go combat sports in general.
Let's see.
And why? I think mine have changed. You've asked me 10 years ago or now or what, but yeah, who overall is your best? I mean, it's hard not to say Anderson Silva, GSP, Chuck Liddell, from MMA, and then of course, you got your Ali's and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I would definitely say Mike is probably one of my favorites. The dude was a juggernaut, man. I don't think there'll ever be a force like him again.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Unique in lots of ways, but incredible.
Yeah, he's just a powerhouse. Like, yeah, Mike's definitely one of my favorites. As far he might not really be a fighter, but Bruce Lee's always been my kind of he's
a pioneer.
Yeah, he's been kind of like the grandmaster I've always looked at. love the dude's philosophy. I love his style and approach. But as far as like fighters, yeah, Anderson Silva, he came at a time when the UFC was still very brawlerish, and then this technical striker came and it was just like, what is this? I like GSP a lot. He was, was like the first complete all-around fighter. This guy has a lot of controversy, but I really like John Jones. I think he.
Can't argue.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I just think he's the most talented and gifted guy that has ever been in the UFC. It's hard to argue what he's done. He's literally done it all. He's beaten all the legends. He's 2-time champ. He's a specimen, of a human being. He kind of checks off all the boxes.
Yeah, powerful athlete.
Yeah.
He could probably be successful in other professional sports.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Like, you see his brothers, they're all top tier. Right. And then
I can't even keep up with the roster now. It's so big, and there's so many, great up and coming fighters.
It's insane, man.
Athletes starting really young,
Insane. Like, they're so good nowadays. And
and you see a lot of them going into other things, Hollywood and marketing and businesses and, these side gigs, hustling and becoming very popular. And Conor McGregor is hard not to mention,
Yeah, I like, We can't forget the old school guys, I like Fedor, Mirko Cro Cop, Chuck Liddell.
Beast.
Yeah.
What about martial art movies, man? Movies give us a lot of exposure. We've talked about from Cobra Kai to Karate Kid, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles to old school Bruce Lee and kung fu flicks, and lots of new movies out. And man, there's some martial arts and John Wick. And so much on the martial arts and into so many movies in Hollywood. And you gotta have fight scenes into things, right? It's cool to see it done and taught by actual martial artists.
You gotta be innovative too, like everybody's seen the karate style, everybody's seen this or that, it's the John Wicks are definitely, I think, the new standard. They're literally turning everything into like gun fu, dog fu, car fu, like
right.
Where they're almost creating a style out of just know what I mean? Just
makes me think of Jackie Chan.
Very much. But I think my favorite though. It's a tie, but it's got to be probably Enter the Dragon or Way of the Dragon.
Oh man, I would say Enter the Dragon for me too, or Best of the Best one.
Yeah,
I like kickboxing.
It's just classic, man. Like a crime boss or whatever is running an island martial arts competition. The best fighters come to it.
You killed my brother, now I must kill you.
Yeah, it was like Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat existed, And then Way of the Dragon, just because of the finale between him and Chuck, and they fighting in the Coliseum, bro. Like, you don't get more epic than that.
You get much into the martial art books?
Yeah. Oh, totally, Grandmaster. I'm a big Miyoto Musashi fan. Book 5 Rings.
Yeah, that was a good one. I need to read that again. It's been a while.
Yeah, I like his books a lot. I just like the whole Bushido.
Yeah, it's like the Art of War. That's a good
man.
one.
All those are great. I like Bruce's stuff. Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I like Breathe by Rickson Gracie. That's a really good one. He talks a lot about how breathing is the pulse of humanity, and it's all about breathing correctly. If you don't breathe correctly, you can't do anything, because breath is life. He's a very deep guy and a very serious martial artist as well.
Yeah. When you mention some of those guys, man, it brings to me how philosophy became a big part of martial arts, where a lot of it is lost. Nothing against it. It's just a straight fight gym. There's a place for all of that, but maybe a straight fight gym with no philosophy, it could sometimes lack morals and discipline and ethics. So if you have some belief in some of that, deeper power, the why, the philosophy, I feel it just has a better connection in creating better, well-rounded martial artists, because they're also have a spiritual sense of just a better understanding. You know what I mean?
That's what
I
Bruce
heard someone
was talking
say
about
once
too, man. He's talking about that a lot as well.
Yeah, I heard. What was the difference in, martial arts and street fighting? They said, well, one has philosophy. Okay, maybe, right? But yeah, so those are some of your favorite books, movies, fighters.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What's your favorite styles?
Oh man, it's tough. Just because I'm a karate kid, I really like karate a lot. But I'm being biased because I black belt in karate. But I like them all, man. I've literally tried. I literally try them all. Kung fu, judo, jiu-jitsu, grappling arts, striking arts, kickboxing, salat, Wing Chun, you name it, man. I'm all for it. I'll try it out. Sambo. I
don't know if people get as much into styles anymore.
Right.
Even as a business owner, I remember when I got calls. What style do you teach? What style of martial arts? What's your discipline? What type do you do? I don't get as much of that anymore. I think a lot of it is because of MMA and how things are marketed. But I don't know if people get as much of that. But yeah, it's good to have a mixture.
I'm sure you remember back in your day where that was like a dominant thing.
Like, yeah. So
karate, we're Shotokan. We're not anything else.
That was very different.
Yeah.
Very segregated and stood alone and were obvious from afar. If it was the color of the gi, if it was the logo, But yeah, not so much now. You see, martial arts signs usually say martial arts now.
Right.
People are trained there. Some people, I run into people. I have people that will even join because we have a military town, so people have been all over the world. And if they end up here and become part of our school, they have had martial arts at several places. And they're legit. They're telling the truth. I can tell. But some of them don't know the styles they were taught.
Right.
Like, I did martial arts for this many years here. I did it for this many months here. Cool. What styles? That was martial arts. So that's kind of strange to me. I feel you should have some.
Like Hapkido is basically Korean jiu-jitsu and judo in a way.
Yeah, a lot of things cross, right? It's kind of like music. It can cross over.
Right, yeah, cross genre. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's your future with the martial arts, man? You training hard, right?
Yeah,
training
man.
every day, and learning and improving and teaching.
Yeah.
So what's your goals, future?
I just want to be the best. I just want to reach my maximum potential. I want to get as many black belts as I can, learn as many styles as I can, get as physically and mentally and spiritually as fit as I can, because martial arts basically gives me the seeds for all that. And I'll do a little bit of competing. I'll do some grappling, some striking, some MMA. I don't think I'll go too crazy with it because I'm more into the art than just like the physical combat.
Yeah.
That's still fun. I like it a lot, but it takes.
Do you have those goals or that bucket list?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of that. Just continuing to maximize my potential, my evolution, and just myself on all aspects.
Why is that so important to you? Maximizing your potential, yourself.
It's not only a goal I'm not only trying to prove it to myself, but just like that seems like the most logical thing. I don't want to remain too stagnant in certain things, I just feel like life is all about balance and evolution, and so you should always strive and desire something. Like man, you got nine black belt, 9th degree black belt, and you're still training, man.
Gotta go, man. We got things to do.
Yeah,
in this world, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it too. It's like, okay, this is cool. I got this black belt. I got this black belt. I got this or whatever.
Right?
What's next? Yeah,
I'll sleep when I die.
Yeah, man. And I'm just enjoying the ride, and I'm just trying to maximize it. When it's all said and done, I want to look back and be like, you know what, I did enough. Not like I didn't do enough.
That's a good one, man. Yeah. That's legacy to me.
Right.
Right? Look back and you did enough. I like it, bro. Well, good, man. Well, you're doing a good job, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the interview. I think there's some good takeaways from this. You got anything else you want to say?
Premier Martial Arts is the best in Abilene. If you want to learn mixed martial arts or martial arts period, you need to come here.
All right. I didn't even pay him for that, see? So
we got 8
true.
styles, man.
Be good at it all, man. Have fun in the process. Don't waste the time. Time you never get back, right?
Right.
You're so right. Cool. All right, Taylor, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks a lot. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out all the other episodes here on our podcast. And don't forget the YouTube channel, James Cox Martial Arts.